We're back on the Morning Brew with Friends with Mark and Commander Gary. Did you know he was a commander?
I did not. Now I do.
Yes, he's actually a commander with
Honorary commander.
with AFRL.
Yes.
All right.
And he's also the city's director of economic development.
Okay.
And Mark is the co-founder of RiskSense. And before we dive into everything,
Yes.
what is RiskSense? I know that you guys are a cybersecurity firm.
Yep. We're a
and
cyber risk management firm. Right. We help our clients improve their state of affairs in terms of cybersecurity. We do it both through a great piece of software called RiskSense as well,
Right.
as well as our really unparalleled technical services to come after our clients with their permission, but as hackers.
Right.
Coming in, going after them and determining where the weaknesses are before the bad guys do.
So I think a lot of us, when like things, for example, like the Target hack a while back, and people got into the Target machines and somehow figured out how to get credit cards out of those.
Right.
That's the kind of thing that your guys would go in and try to hack that system to begin with.
Exactly. So briefly, the bad guys went in through a vendor's access
Right.
to Target's HVAC system.
To the heating and
ventilation.
air conditioning.
Yeah. So this vendor had to manage the refrigerator units at stores, I think in Pennsylvania.
Right.
Bad guys got his passcodes. They got in as him.
Wow.
And then went laterally to the point of sale systems, the PCI system,
Yeah.
payment card industry system, within Target.
Wow.
They launched their malware on the point of sale systems. They were in long enough to be able to improve their malware.
Right.
Right. They stored then the cards they were stealing.
Amazing.
Used the weekend traffic, the increase in data traffic on the weekends to move the data out. And they were in there for at least 15 days.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yep.
And these are the kinds of things that your guys go in and say, here's
Where the weaknesses are.
Right.
That's right. Here's where the problems are. Here's where you need to shore it up. And here's the priority, more importantly.
Right.
Not just here's your basket full of problems. Here's the
Right.
priority in which you need to attack these things because of how, if there's an existing known threat against a vulnerability, go after these first.
Well, you told me once, it's been a while, but like some of the most unlikely places are the places that hackers get in, which kind of makes sense, right?
Sure.
You told me once the printer. Your
Multifunction
office
printers.
printer.
Multifunction
You don't even think
printers,
about it,
yep.
but your printer is connected to the internet, which is connected to your computers, which is connected to your server. And if someone can get into your printer, they can break into your whole
Just
system.
pathways.
It's amazing.
Easy pathways.
That's amazing. But these are the kinds of businesses, Gary, that you guys have been working hard on. And state unemployment is down, but Albuquerque's is up because of companies like RiskSense in the IT world and the professional services world, right?
That's exactly right. And we're disappointed that extractive services is kind of pulling our overall unemployment
And by
down.
extractive, you mean mining oil and gas, natural gas.
And they're down significant jobs, and overall the state's down 300. But in the metro, we're up, 6,000, 7,000. And,
Right.
and
How much of that is due to ART construction? I'm kidding.
None yet, in a couple of months. But the key, and that will help out our construction industry, but the key is that platform, to use Mark's lingo here, is building a platform which has a good operating system that people can add apps. And apps are the companies and the projects and programs.
Good analogy.
Like
Right.
Ski Lift Pitch,
Yep.
like RiskSense, like RSI, like Lavu. We're building a platform by which companies can survive and thrive.
Right.
And that's the key, and RiskSense is a great example of that.
Could you have done RiskSense 10 years ago here?
Well, back it up 10 more years, right? Because we started 10 years ago.
Okay.
Its predecessor company, we started in
Right.
2006.
Right, remind me of the rebrand has gone very well because I can't remember the new name.
That's
the
good.
old name.
Thank you.
That's a good pivot.
The rebrand was the predecessor company was Computational Analysis and Network Enterprise
Right, it was
Solutions.
Cain's.
LLC.
Right.
And we came out of New Mexico Tech.
Right.
And in fact, they're still a shareholder of the new company, RiskSense.
Right.
But back it up 10 years prior, probably not.
Yeah.
Because we spent, my co-founder, my partner, Srinivas Mukamal, our CEO, he and I and his team of researchers spent the first 3 years trying to figure out how do you monetize this research effort. And it wasn't being done at the time. And so probably not.
And beyond that, I mean, has the city, the state, the overall ecosystem built just enough that companies like yours can be successful?
I think so. And there are some hurdles
Right.
which I think need to belong. And the
Right.
first hurdle is are you JTIP eligible? And JTIP is the Job Training Incentive Plan.
And that's an interesting thing with the state. And you guys help companies all day long fill out this paperwork with the state,
That's
right?
right.
Yep.
And in the economic
Headquarters,
development
high
office.
wage, JTIP, there's a bunch of incentives now that are in
Yeah.
place just to form that platform in the operating system for
Right.
companies like this.
Right.
And availing yourself of that is fantastic.
Right, because the state can help pay for training for
Absolutely.
employees, because you may
Salaries for employees.
and
Salaries,
salaries,
yeah,
because you may find somebody who can program a computer and be a great coder,
Yep.
but they don't necessarily know security.
Exactly. And so that training effort is in that first 6 months of employment.
Right.
So first of all, if your sales are greater than 50% out of state, then you're JTIP eligible.
Okay, for
Right.
the economic base jobs. that's
Exactly,
all of it.
right. And then you can start doing this. And so my rough calculations, go to the Economic Development's website to get the real figures, but my rough calculus is for every 4 $100,000 jobs we bring in under JTIP, we get one of those free for a year.
That's amazing.
Right.
That's amazing.
And it turns out to be, it's been very beneficial for us.
Yeah, you guys and several other companies.
Yes,
we hear of a
absolutely.
lot of companies who are able to do that,
Yep.
and it really makes a big difference because if you had to train those guys right away, it would cost you.
Well, what we're doing is about 9 months later, we're recovering that first 6 months of their salary.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's been extremely beneficial to us.
Right.
And
right.
we have such expertise in the city and the state in cybersecurity. I mean, Sandia National Labs obviously is guarding our nation's nuclear secrets.
Right.
And so with JTIP, along with the high wage tax credit, you can even get expertise into your company because you're training them on something unique that they didn't know before,
Right.
and can pull out that expertise, and that really helps our companies grow.
Right. Well, speaking of Sandia, I know that they're going through their contracting stuff. Does the city take a position on that? Is the city working with Lockheed, the current contract holder at Sandia, or do you guys take any position to help out one person or another, one company or another?
We do not.
Anything?
What we want is a successful, thriving, growing Sandia National
Right.
Labs. And whoever can do that the best, there's a vetting process. It's kind of like an RFP process. And
It's
so,
an RFP process on literally a $2.5 billion level.
on a national level.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we don't put a bet on a horse on that one. What we expect is the best decision will be made to move that Sandia National Labs forward. They've had some recent wins. They were down for a while, but now they've had some recent wins, which will get them stable and possibly growing in the future. We just want to support that.
That's great. Are they a customer? Or can you say that they're a customer?
You know, they're a great organization, and they have some great employees that we've hired.
So they're a customer.
And we've lost some of our employees to Sandia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's an interesting ecosystem there.
Right, no doubt.
And there's, for some individuals, the private enterprise, the entrepreneurial spirit was quite the draw.
Right.
For others, the large infrastructure and long-term stability that Sandia could represent
Right.
was
And-
also a draw.
And every other Friday off.
Okay.
That's an amazing thing about Sandia.
But to get high-tech people here, to get the job creators and the people
Right.
that we want in Albuquerque,
Yeah.
you have to have that platform again
Right.
where people can move back and
Yes.
forth to where they can best utilize their own strengths and skills. And if you're a one-trick pony, if you've only got one thing in town, people are concerned, if I don't like that, I don't have anywhere else to
We
go.
used to call those banana republics back in the
That's
day.
right. And now, with companies like RiskSense and others, now we have an ecosystem now that people can move from place to place to place.
love it.
That's very attractive to high-tech
It's
workers.
very
So
important,
what's
too.
the next step for you guys? You hiring, you growing,
So right now, we're on track with our plans. We're growing well. Right now, we're at about 62 employees nationwide, and of those, 56 are here in New Mexico.
Excellent.
Right.
Still
and I say
over
nationwide.
Jefferson.
We opened up a small office in Sunnyvale. We have a CFO who's based out of there. We have a VP Global Marketing who's based out of there. Some other marketing folks and product management folks.
Excellent.
We're not moving anybody from here to there, but we're hiring some positions that are best located closer to Silicon Valley.
And
Sounds
headquarters always here.
and
That's
headquarters
what I
always
said.
there?
That's right, Gary.
Always.
That's right, always.
We're going to keep this on film.
That's right. We're done.
We'll be back in a couple of seconds on the Morning Brew with Freds.